Hello there. In this video, you're going to learn how to play Tragedy Plus Time by Rise Against. It's in half-step down tuning, and the lesson's going to start shortly. Just wanted to leave a quick note. I'm going to put the link to the tabs in the description box below, probably in a pinned comment as well. And if you'd like to see all the tabs I've made, go ahead and check out my new website, danielchaveztutorials.com. Thanks for watching. Alright, first part you're going to learn is the intro. Sounds like this. First thing you want to do is put your pinky on the 7th fret of the high E string, and then also set your middle finger up on the 5th fret of the B and your index on the 4th fret of the B string, because we're going to be fretting those notes shortly after. You're going to pluck each note twice. It's going to go 7th fret high E, 5th fret B, 4th fret B, back to the 5th fret of the B, and that's the first part. Next part is played very similar, but you end on the 6th fret of the G string instead. So we're going to go 7th fret high E, 5th fret B, 4th fret B, and then down to the 6th fret of the G. Now we're going to play that first part again one more time. But the second time around, we're just going to pluck the 7th fret of the high E, 5th fret B, and then we're going to go to an open A, 4th fret E, 2nd fret E, and then after that we're going to switch to an E minor chord. And then that starts the strumming part of the intro. So all together. Alright, now the strum part of the intro sounds like this. So we're going to be using a lot of power chords in this song. First chord is going to be an E minor, but with the G string muted. That's 2nd fret A, 2nd fret D. The rest are open. Then you got a B5, which is going to be 2nd fret A, 4th fret D, and G. Again, other strings are open. A C sharp 5, 4th fret A, 6th fret D, and G. And then lastly, an A5, which is an open A, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G. Starting with that E minor, strumming pattern is going to go down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. Then we're going to switch to the B5, down, up, down, and then switch immediately to the A5. Up, up, down, 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 down. That B5 is like a transition chord. Transition, A5. Then we're going to go back to the B5, another transition chord. Down, up, down. Switch to the C sharp 5 and go on an up strum, up, down, down, up, down. Then we're going to go back down to the B5, up, down, down, up, down, and then end on the A5, up, down, 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 down. And then we do that same picking pattern at the end of the picked intro. Now after that pick part, we're going to repeat the strumming pattern. Now instead of going to the A5 here, we're going to go back to the E minor, but you're going to use it as a power chord. So 2nd fret A and D, but you're going to mute the rest of the strings with the exception of that low E, and you're going to strum it like this. So it's going to be all down strums, but down, 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 down. There's a little pause between each of those down strums. And then at the end, you're going to do a harmonic on the 7th fret. I'm trying to show it here. You're going to lightly touch right above the strings on the 7th fret. Lightly touch it and do a down strum over here. And you get that harmonic sound. that leads into the verse. Now the verse is going to use the same chords that you used in the intro and what you're going to use later in the chorus, but you have two options. You can either play the power chord with the root note and then the fifth, I think is what it's called. In this case, the C sharp 5 is going to be 4th fret A, 6th fret D, or you can do the whole power chord and do 4th fret of the A, 6th fret D and G. I like to do just the two notes. For the verse, we're going to do all down strums, and they're going to be palm muted, so rest your palm on top of the strings over here on your picking hand. And it's going to sound like this. On the edges of the sharpest knives, in the middle of the darkest nights, always knew that I would find you here, in a puddle of the bravest tears. So that first part, all it is the C sharp 5, B5, and then A5. And on the first strum of each note, you can either pull your hand off to let that first one ring out before muting, or you can just put a little more emphasis on it. Now the next part uses the same chords, but you're going to switch up the strumming pattern just a little bit towards the end. So it's going to go like this. I've seen enough to know it's lonely where you are. So we're still going to do all down strums on the C5 and then the B5, but halfway through the B5 you're going to start opening up that strum. So here's where I kind of switch from the root and the fifth on the B5 to the whole power chord. That way I can get that high E and B string to ring out when they're open. So again, about half of them are all down strums. And then you kind of start strumming up and down the rest of it. Switch to the A5, which is all going to be open chord strums. Now the second part of the verse, or it could be a pre-chorus or hook, sounds like this. Above the crowd, feet dangling from the rooftop, she waits for urges, for a voice to talk her down. And that leads into the chorus. So for this one, you're going to use the 4th fret of the low E string and the 7th fret of the A string. It's a bit of a stretch, but you're going to resolve it by moving up one. You're going to do a down, up, and then mute the strings before doing up, down, up again. So you're muting basically after each strum pattern. Down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up. And then you're going to switch. So again, to do that part, you're going to go down, up, and then rest your palm on top of the strings while doing another little down strum. So it's just a muted strum at the end. So down, up, mute, up, and then switch to the 5th fret of the low E, keep the 7th fret of the A string, and then do the same pattern. Down, up, down, up. And then we're going to switch to a B5 power chord on the 7th fret of the low E, 9th fret, D, and G. And you're going to do down, 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 down. Now we're going to repeat that first part. The ending changes. So you're still going to go to that B5 power chord up here, but this time you're going to strum down, 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 up, down, up, down, and then stop fretting the strings, so you get a muted strum there, and then you're going to do down, up, down, up, down, up, muted strums, and that leads into the chorus. Now the nice part about the chorus is you've already learned it. It's strummed the same way with the same chords as the intro, just one tiny change at the end before you get into the next verse. Sounds like this. Nothing matters but the pain of your love. Never any nights in your break. You're praying that tomorrow it's okay. There will be a time to crack another smile. Maybe not today or for a while. But we're holding on to laugh again someday. So very similar to the intro that you learned. Last change really is going to be when you start singing To Laugh Again Someday. The second time around, instead of just ending on that A5 chord and then going to that walk down, you're going to do the A5 and then go back up to the B5. And that B5 is going to be strummed down, 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 up, down, up. And then you go to that E power chord where you do that muted strum. Down, 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 down. Harmonic. So that's the chorus. Now the second chorus ends a little bit differently than the first because he says to laugh again someday one more time. We're not going to go into that E minor power chord. What we're going to do is basically a slowed down version of the chords that we were already using. So if I was going to do the ending of the chorus. We're holding on to laugh again someday. So all it is the same chords but strummed once. Now from here, just before we get into the bridge, there's a little strumming pattern that's totally different than anything else in the song. Kind of sounds like this. So the strumming pattern he's doing is down, up, down, up, down, down, down. And the timing's a little weird. You kind of have to practice it. Now you just have to add the chords. First chord is going to be A5. Then we switch to a E5 power chord, played a little bit differently. It's going to be 2nd fret A and D string, and then the 4th fret of the G string. And we're going to do that same strumming pattern. Then switch to the B5 power chord, and you're not going to let the B and high E string ring out. You're going to mute those. Just do the power chord, and you're going to do down, up, down, up, down, down, and then mute the strings. So from the E5 to the B5. All together. That leads into the bridge. All right, next part we're going to learn is the bridge, and it's broken up into 2 parts. First part sounds like this. And sometimes you have to go back to know just where you've been. But we're old enough to know that what has been will be again. So we're going to use those same power chords we were using earlier in the song, starting with the 4th fret of the low E, 7th fret A. And you're going to do all down, up strums before transitioning to the next chord. And there's no palm mute this time either. So, down, up, switch to the 5th fret E, keep your 7th fret of the A string, down, up. Then this chord is going to be a little bit tricky, but it's the 9th fret of the E and 6th fret of the D string. If you can't make that stretch, just fret the 9th fret of the E string, and it'll be okay. Down, up, and then end on the 7th fret E, 9th fret A. Down, up, down. That's the first grouping of chords. Then you're going to repeat the first 2, but then go straight into the 7th fret E, 9th fret A, and then just do down, 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 down. Now, before starting the next part, I like to do what Tim does. Basically, it's that muted strum. Just Rest your fingers on top of the strings, don't fret anything, and then do some muted strums. Just adds a percussive sound right before you start again. So the second part's going to be played the same way. Now after he does that final down, 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 down strum, he does the second half of the bridge. It sounds like this. And again, so for this part of the bridge, you're going to basically be playing the A and the D string simultaneously for each of these chord structures. First one you're going to do is the 6th fret of the D string and an open A. You're going to let that ring out as you slide down to the 2nd fret of the D string, keeping the open A. So, then we're going to switch to a 2nd fret A and 1st fret D string. And then D string with the 2nd fret of the A string. So, and then you're going to go to the 4th fret of the A string, 2nd fret D string, and you're going to play this one like this. So down, down again with your 4th fret of the D string using your pinky. And then take it off, and then back to that 2nd fret. And then we're going to go back up on the fretboard. So you're going to go 7th fret A, 6th fret D, and you're going to strum down. And then you're going to put your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, strum down again, and then remove it. So from here, we're kind of doing the same thing on both of these chord shapes. From here, you go 9th fret of the A string, 7th fret A string, and then 6th fret A string, before kind of repeating. Dun, 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 dun. So all together. Next part, we're going to start with that 6th fret D, open A again, but instead of going down, we're going to go to the 9th fret of the D string and strum down again. And then we go down the fretboard, but we're going to go down to the 2nd fret A and 1st fret D. And similar to how we did this, we're going to do that here. So 2nd fret A, 1st fret D, and 2nd fret D with 2nd fret A, and then off. And then you're going to go back up to the 4th fret A, 2nd fret G, and you're just going to do all down strums. Then you're going to repeat that whole progression. And again. This is where he starts to say, "And the bravest of faces." So it's played the same. And the bravest of faces, all the ones where we take it, and the roles that we play. But at the end, he just ends on that 2nd fret A, 1st fret D. And that's how you play the bridge. Alright, now the final chorus uses the same chords as the first two, but you're just going to start off with all down strums. And so when he says, "Nothing matters when the pain is almost gone, you're finally awake despite the overwhelming odds tomorrow came." So it's just all down strums. You can add a couple little notes, the open E and B in between. But when he says, "When they see you crack a smile," he switches it up a little bit. So you could just do all the same strums. When they see you crack a smile, you he does in the video, basically it's down strums for every other chord up until the end. So he starts with that E minor, and when they see you crack a smile, all down strums. And when he gets to that B5 chord, he strums down, down, and then goes down to the A5, and then does all down strums again. When they see you crack a smile, decide to stay a while. Down, up, down on the transition chord, and then C sharp 5. You'll be ready then. And then he does the regular strumming after this. So the rest of the chorus is played just like the first two that you learned all the way through the end of the song, and then at the end he just ends on some down strums of the C sharp 5, B5, and then A5. We all learn to laugh again. And that ends the song. After that final down, 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 he says, and again. Whoa.